Pick on Preview Family.
You want to make a lot of new friends in a hurry?
Or eat King Neptune's version of a hot air balloon.
Or improve your handicap while you're still on the 3rd floor.
All of this can only happen in one place, Tokyo, Japan.
Hello world, I've been waiting for a chance to see your face. Oh, hello world, I am ready for a different kind of place. And I'm flying to somewhere else, 'cause I'm searching for something else. And I'm leaving, I don't know where I'm gonna land. Oh no, yes, I'm leaving, I don't know where I'm gonna land.
Hello and welcome to Travelers in Tokyo. I'm Pierce.
I'm Barbara.
And I'm Patrick.
We're standing in the gardens of the Imperial Palace, home to Japan's royal family. Now, even though the city dates back to the 15th century, this is one of the few historic sites to be found in today's Tokyo. Wars and earthquakes have pretty well wiped out the kinds of buildings that tourists typically flock to. As a matter of fact, Tokyo averages a big quake every 60 to 70 years, which means we're about due.
Great, there's something to look forward to. Actually, for one reason or another, the face of Tokyo has changed many times. In fact, the shores of Tokyo Bay used to be a lot closer to here than they are now. But as the city continued to burst at the seams, it just burst right out into the bay. And when they ran out of land to put people on, they just made some more. Entire districts are built on top of landfill. Even from here to the port, a distance of about 3 miles, it's all landfill. Here in Tokyo, the face of many rivers, even the bay has changed just to accommodate the ever-growing population.
This isn't a typical Tokyo scene. What's missing? People. Millions and millions of people. It's one of the largest cities in the world. 30 million people live in Tokyo and its surrounding suburbs. 12 million alone live in the downtown area, and another 2 million commute into the city every day. But to the people of Tokyo, it's just business as usual.
子供さんだとか彼女なんかに
Tokyo, the city is like a rocket ship that you take a ride on, and you're constantly moving. You get swept along with these people, so you're always moving when you're there. It's also like a big neon smile. There's lights everywhere, high-tech lights, and millions of neon signs. It's this incredibly huge city that goes as far as your eye can see. So it's very intimidating.
I think Tokyo is also a land of extremes. It really does seem to go over the edge in everything. When they make something small, they make it minute. When they make something big, like a department store, it's huge. It's 15 floors. When they give you electronics, they give you more than you could possibly carry. They really don't seem to do anything halfway.
This is Shinjuku Station, the busiest subway station in one of the biggest cities in the world. 2 million people commute in and out of Tokyo every day. Now this is track 2 at morning rush hour. Every minute and a half, a 10-car train with up to 3,000 people crammed into it pulls out of the station. How do all these people get on so quickly? They push.
I think if you're not ready for that, it can almost be a little bit claustrophobic because you're bigger than everyone else and there are so many people all crowded around you, and when you get onto the subway, you can't even catch a breath that's your own.
To take a ride on the subway here, it usually costs you about 160 yen. Just put a couple hundred yen in there, spits your ticket back out, and some change, and you stick it into the turnstile, spits it back out, you're set. Now, once you get through the turnstile at your departing station, you got to hold onto your ticket with all your life, or you're not going to be able to get out of the next station you're going to. Be careful.
I think because everyone in Tokyo has grown up with that kind of force pressing on them at all times, that so many people, they're used to it. They don't think anything about it. But everybody really seems to respect each other. They seem to get out of each other's way. And normal things that somewhere else would be offensive, like someone being mashed right up against you in an elevator or on the subway, nobody seems to mind. That's just part of the day.
We got there at 5 in the morning just in time for the tuna auction.
This program is brought to you in part by Alamo. No worries, no hassles, just...
Welcome to the Tsukiji Fish Market, one of the largest fish markets in the whole world. A third of all the fish consumed in Japan comes right through here. That's over 2,500 tons of fish every day.
Mondays through Saturdays, thousands of people come from all over Tokyo to bid on their fish of choice. They say a tuna sold here every 4 seconds.
This market handles about 400 species of fish, and you can get fish from almost anywhere in the world. If you want, you can even get a Maine lobster less than 24 hours after it's been pulled from the trap.
I've never really seen so many fish in one place either. I gotta tell you, and they're huge. I mean, tuna this big, laying down there on the floor. And you gotta kind of be ready for this sight though, because the tails are cut off so that the buyers can inspect the meat, and it's shoved into one of the gills.
We got there at 5 in the morning just in time for the tuna auction. The auction was chaos. It was a real Japanese scene.
When the bell rings early in the morning, that signals that the auction is about ready to begin. And the men actually go up into these little grandstands, and they stand there in the bleachers as the auctioneer calls off each fish, and they raise a hand or give a little hand signal and call out that they're going to make the next bid on that fish.
The market was busier than Grand Central Station at rush hour. It was just chaos.
You have to have eyes all around your head and look where you're going at all times, or you can be run over or trampled to death. You see frozen tuna there that has just been taken off of the ships, and it looks like it's been salted. It's got such a thick layer of ice on top of it. And when you walk into the room where all the frozen tuna is, the frost, it turns into a fine mist which hovers over these pallets of frozen fish, which is a beautiful sight.
They would then take these huge fish, frozen rock solid, over to a bandsaw and quarter them. Cut all the good pieces off and ditch the heads. Who'd have thought of that?
As you leave the live fish area in the area where all the tuna are cut up, you enter the central market. And this is where there's countless stalls of people selling directly to restaurants and chefs and cooks all over Tokyo. And that's where I met Chef Ito, who is a licensed fugu chef. You need a license to cook fugu, which is a blowfish, because it's highly poisonous. You have to know how to cut out the poisonous parts of the fugu, or you can kill somebody.
Okay, so tell me about fugu. Now, I've heard that this is an incredibly poisonous fish that can kill a person very quickly. Is that true?
After 1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour. That's pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All right.
He pointed out some of these poisonous organs to me: the eyes, the intestines, the stomach, in some cases, the skin. So you really have to know what you're looking for.
Are you gonna go home and cook this right now?
Yes.
Yeah? Will you take me and cook some for me?
Yes.
Ah, arigato. Okay, great, let's go.
I've got a morbid curiosity, and the fact that a delicacy in Tokyo is a fish that can kill people is enough to make me want to try it, or at least turn my friends onto it without them knowing it.
As we leave the fish market, Pierce tells me he's got a surprise for lunch for Barbara and I. And hey, as long as Pierce is taking care of lunch, I'm game. He takes us to a restaurant, and I can't even read what it's called. It's all in Japanese, but it's a beautiful place. And he seems to know the chef.
Patrick and I sat in the back waiting for Pierce to bring out some of the food that they had prepared and waited.
So, except for the poisonous parts, you can eat everything of fugu. For example, of course, the meat, of course, you eat, but the skin, skin can be prepared in the same way as sashimi, so you can eat the skin, and even the fins. You can put some fins in sake, Japanese rice wine, and that's sort of one popular way of drinking sake.
Fugu is sliced very thinly, and it's presented very delicately on a plate, depending on what dish you're cooking. But he really was making these little works of art.
So I think having your own restaurant is almost like being able to express yourself. People in America might think or might wonder why we eat this poisonous fish. But for us, it's very natural to eat fugu.
Round one.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is sashimi?
Yes.
So raw fish, sashimi. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's good, huh?
That's good.
What do you think? You like it? You know, this is an extremely poisonous fish. It's killed people in the past. In fact, people die within about an hour of eating it, generally. Their lips go numb, it attacks their nervous system, and they fall over. And if a chef kills one of his customers, historically, he would kill himself as a matter of honor.
And that does me a lot of good, being dead. There'll be company.
It's not quite the same now. You see, you don't have to worry, because you have to have a license to cook fugu. You have to have a license to sell fugu. And the poisonous parts are all cut out, so I think you're safe. But doesn't that make it a little thrilling?
And it's delicious. I mean, I can see why you would want to eat it, but at what cost? I mean, let's just think about it. If you made a little mistake, your dinner party's over.
You wait until after we've eaten some to... No, I just can't think about anything else.
No one has died from eating fugu in 5 or 6 years. And the only people who die are the ones who catch it themselves and don't know how to do it correctly. It's the intestines and the eyes, and on some of them, the skin.
What would they tell my parents? I went to Tokyo, I ate a fish, and died.
I wasn't going to kill Patrick and Barbara.
I wouldn't know.
I loved them. I just wanted to see him squirm a little bit.
It's absolutely delicious, but the thought that it could be my last meal is somehow tainting the whole idea.
I think it's supposed to make it more invigorating.
Oh, believe me, I'm going to enjoy every last bit of it, thinking this might be it. I got, what, an hour?
The meal was delicious. Fugu melts in your mouth like butter. And this is fugu as well?
Yeah, so fugu the skin?
The skin?
Yeah, the skin.
I thought you said skin was poisonous.
No, only on certain fugu. Not on this one.
It was food for the gods. It was amazing. It tasted just as good as it looked.
Arigato.
Good. That's delicious.
If you can get over the fear, it's absolutely delicious. It just melts in your mouth. It's a very light, wonderful fish. But, you gotta be pretty adventurous to put a poisonous fish in your mouth.
Arigato. Thank you so much. This has just been incredible. To you.
Fabulous.
And good fortune to your new restaurant.
I gotta tell you something, that store did something to Barbara. I mean, it sent her over the edge, She was out of control.
This bag is bringing me to my knees.
Shopping in Tokyo is a whole nother world. It's known for having huge department stores. Pearson Barber and I went to a store called Takashimaya. 14 floors of shopping wonder. I mean, if you can't find it in this store, you don't want it. And there's a whole hustle and bustle that goes on even before the doors open. It reminds you of being inside a beehive.
There were people primping and sweeping and polishing and rubbing and placing perfectly and walking away and placing again, you know?
It almost doesn't look like a store that people go into. It's too neat, it's too perfect, it's too clean.
Then there was a meeting, and they find out about the day's events and the day's sales and whatnot.
So everyone just listens attentively, and they each have their own notepads. They make notes and stuff. They nod. They bow. It's a remarkable thing to see.
They even have greeters at the doors to bow and say, "Ohayo gozaimasu," good morning, welcome to the store. It just really starts the day with respect. It makes you feel very welcome. Makes you feel like, I want to spend some money here.
Look at this great ring. Ah, the ring, the ring. I just knew I was going to be fierce with that ring on at home. Oh, look at this one. I knew my friends were going to say, "Oh, where'd you get that? That was an original." So I want it raw, for me. See, that's the cool thing about shopping in Japan. You know you're going to bring it home, and no one's going to have one like it. Oh, God, it's just too much. It's just too much. All of it.
I gotta tell you something, that store did something to Barbara. I mean, it sent her over the edge, you know? She was out of control.
This bag is bringing me to my knees.
She found a bag, grabs it, puts it right in my face, and goes, "Look at this! This bag has brought me to my knees."
Ah, I love this.
She went insane.
Oh, cute.
She went from one corner of that store to the other, just, oh my God, would you look at this? This bag is scandalous. These boots are outrageous. This ring is completely out of control, you know? This is scandalous. Look at this. I could drop dead right now.
Let me just look at the price. Oh, totally unaffordable. I loved the shoes. I loved the purses. I loved the clothes. I loved the jewelry. There wasn't a corner of the store that I looked in that I didn't find something that I had to have. I've never walked into a department store and been so excited by the merchandise. It was scandalous. I loved it.
On the floors, you do find cutting-edge fashion. Incredible colors, incredible designs. This is really new stuff.
Yeah? Oh, no, no.
Okay, wait a minute. Here, that's you, Pat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Could I get away with that? Which one? Can I get away with that?
It's the lesser of two evils.
Okay, I'm gonna find something good and subtle. What do you say? Yeah?
Impossible.
Come on.
Hey, Pierce.
Yeah. Help me pick out a nice shirt, huh? Oh. I am in heaven, huh?
We should try and find a suit that's like this color for you.
Suits. Some platform shoes. This is you. And this is not you. Thanks. Yeah, this is it. That is me.
Space is very precious in Tokyo because there's not much of it. So the concept of the store is there's wide open space here. You can breathe, you can shop with this sense of openness that you don't get in other places.
You look up there and you see how many floors keep crisscrossing through that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I honestly think you could spend a week in the store and not get bored. I mean, you can already do all of your shopping from clothing to shoes to stereos to appliances, but they've got a huge record store in there. They've got a whole floor of restaurants. They've even got an IMAX theater in there. You can go in and watch a movie in a huge wraparound state-of-the-art theater.
There's 28 restaurants in the whole department store. I don't know how many are on this one floor, but you can go from one to another to another. And one of the things that they do is they display the food shellacked in a window. And so if you don't speak the language, you can just point to what you want.
So Pierce and I finally find Barbara deep in the clothing department. We drag her kicking and screaming out of the store. And Barb, any day? Come on.
You guys, wait a minute.
No. And you know what? It still didn't do any good. She went back a few days later and blew every penny.
I wanted to get a glimpse of family life in Tokyo, so I met Masa Ino, Tokiko, his wife, and their 3 children.
Yes.
They live in a neighborhood called Meguro, and it's basically a working-class neighborhood. Masa explained that painters and mechanics and carpenters live there. So did you grow up right here?
Yes, that's right.
In the same house?
Yes, same house.
Really?
I born in that.
In that house?
In that house.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Every day they go out to the park and play on the jungle gym with the kids.
I have lived in Meguro for 39 years. My family has lived for 80 years.
Long time.
Yeah, I'm third generation here. My kids are fourth generation.
Can you describe your children to me?
Eldest son is a very kind guy.
Is this which one is this?
Eldest.
Oh, the eldest.
Eldest. Son is a very kind and naughty.
Naughty?
Naughty. Second son is a very calm down. Very good boy. Third baby girl is pretty wild.
How many families live in your apartment?
3 families. My parents and my elder sister's family and our family.
Tokiko and Masa have done miracles with the small space that they have. Each room has many different uses. When it was dinner time, Masa went out and got a table and put a table down in the center of the living room. Then he came in with some pillows, and before you knew it, the room had changed into something else. It was suddenly a dining room. This room that we're sitting in, what is this room used for?
Dining and our working place. And sometimes kids' playroom. And also a living room.
What is this room next to us used for?
This room is for also living room. And my office and kids' piano lesson room. Up there. Every night.
Every night. That's what it's like to have 3 kids. Where do you sleep?
Here.
Right here?
Right here.
What do you do? How do you arrange this room?
Replace this table and clean up. Then open this door and take out stone mat.
And where do the kids sleep?
Next room.
Are your children growing up the same way you grew up?
Same elementary school. So grandpa went same elementary school.
Really?
His grandpa. My father?
She's happy now. Yum. I take space for granted. I have all kinds of space and probably waste a lot of space. I didn't even think about it until I visited the Inos.
The home of the biggest sport in Japan.
Coming up next on Travelers.
Barbara and I went to see this outdoor sumo match at a Shinto shrine in Tokyo.
These guys are so humongous. It's amazing just to even look at them.
It was such a peculiar experience because people were shouting out for their favorite sumo wrestlers, young girls. Like, sumo wrestlers are thought of as rock stars in Tokyo.
And the match must last like 3 seconds. It's over in 3 seconds.
For many people, sumo is synonymous with Japanese culture. There's a neighborhood in Tokyo called Ryogoku that caters to the sumo wrestlers.
Wrestlers train in sumo stables here. The new wrestler on the block is expected to cook for his superiors. And when a sumo retires, he often puts that good experience to work by opening restaurants specializing in sumo cuisine.
What do you feed a sumo wrestler?
Anything he wants.
Barbara and I met an ex-sumo wrestler named Mr. Sasaki, who is the chef at a restaurant called Terokuni, which was named after a former sumo wrestler, a grand champion.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Sumo cuisine is called chanko, and the particular dish that we had is called suppodaki. It was delicious.
And it's cooked in a pot of boiling chicken stock. And there's a big plate full of ingredients, and it's such healthy food. You wonder, how do these guys get so fat off of it?
ないかもしれない。これは2人前ですよね。
これは普通は2人前なんだけど。
One of these for each
So
one.
this, yeah. So at the moment, what you see on the plate, this is for two. But for sumo wrestler, this is just a portion for one person. Probably not enough for one wrestler.
A sumo would eat this entire thing, or maybe more of it, along with a bunch of rice and noodles and other stuff. So you figure they eat that twice a day. Now you take one?
じゃあもう取ってもいいですね。So please, just help yourself.
Okay.
Did you know that when you put your chopsticks in a communal bowl, you're supposed to turn them around? Is that true, Miyako? That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's a polite way.
You mean I should have just turned them around and grabbed the food out with the other end?
Well, if you want to, but with a pot food, it doesn't really matter.
There are so many rules here that customs that I just feel like if I'm not careful, I could insult somebody any minute.
Don't worry.
And that's true, you can.
And I have, I'm sure.
So in this neighborhood, there are about 10 sumo stables to which the sumo wrestlers belong, and they live there and they practice there.
It's alive with sumo everywhere you look. They can make an eclipse when they walk past you.
The sumo handprint.
This is the man's Chinese theater of sumo wrestling.
Just a little bit bigger than my own.
Just a little bit.
Let me see mine in that one. Oh, that's huge.
Look, his nails go all the way up to here.
We went to a store that caters to sumo wrestlers and other big and tall men in Japan.
Try this on.
Wow.
This is a 6L.
6L, meaning what? 6 people fit in here?
Six
6
ladies.
large people?
6 ladies.
And everything in the store was just this enormous size. Everything was just gigantic. The jeans that we tried on in the clothing store belong to the biggest sumo wrestler in the world right now. It was quite an honor stepping into his pants.
Look, there's...
Wait, we have to button it and zip it. Oh, we forgot to put our underwear on. Our boxers.
Oh, yeah. We could have fit Patrick and all the other travelers and our whole crew in there with us, probably.
That's pretty cool, huh?
I'm speechless.
The neighborhood revolves around sumo wrestling and the wrestlers. Not only does it cater to the wrestlers with their restaurants and the clothing stores and whatnot, but also it attracts a lot of tourists who come to see and learn about the wrestlers and their lifestyle, and buy souvenirs.
Sumo chopsticks?
Sumo tea?
It's pretty silly stuff that you can buy there. Sumo...
Ear.
Ear picker?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait a minute, you're not supposed to blow your nose in public here. Do people pick their ears with a stick?
In private.
In private.
You can buy bath towels with sumos on them. You can buy pillows. You can buy multicolored pens. You can even buy boxer shorts with little sumo wrestlers on it. The perfect present for Patrick. Sumo underwear.
That's it.
Sumo boxers. Large, wouldn't you say?
No.
No?
If they're sumo sizes, I'd say probably.
Oh, are they sumo sizes?
Extra small.
No.
No.
For the usual.
Suddenly, Piers had to have all of this sumo wrestler paraphernalia.
I can't believe I bought 4,000 yen worth of stuff.
Next on Travelers, new and better ways to blow your mind and your paycheck. Okay, space is an issue here, but there's got to be some way to blow off some steam, right? So what do you do at the end of the day when you're usually shoulder to shoulder with about 1 million other people? Just say 4. I honestly cannot figure out why golf is such a huge sport in Tokyo. They love it. They're so passionate about this that they have 24-hour, 3-decker driving ranges. You can go out any time of the day or night and hit a golf ball. When I first went to the driving range, I wanted to just get a few clubs and get up there and whack some balls. They gave me a set of golf shoes, which points to the first problem here in Tokyo. Let me try for just 1 second. It's a little bit small, but you know, maybe I'll bend some toes. Or I have to cut like my heel off. And I said, look, this doesn't fit. Can I have anything bigger? The guy says, no, you have the Sasquatch boot as it is. Nothing's gonna fit. Wear your boots and go hit some balls. You know, I'm not much of a golfer. I've never even played a round of golf. Ooh. Ah. Boy, you can't even see that one, can you? And I think the golf pro just took such offense at what I was doing to the golf clubs, he came over to try and give me a quick lesson. Oh. You're gonna help me figure this out? Okay. Here. Oh, farther down. Bend my knees. Oh, stand up a little more. Okay. Okay. Oh. Put my thumb flat there. Okay. I got it covered. Oh my gosh. No way. I couldn't hit anything like that. I speak probably 3 words of Japanese, none of which will help me in this game of golf. Okay. He doesn't speak any English. But through sign language and just through the actual sport, he managed to give me a quick lesson. Right? And use more of my wrist there. Okay. More of the wrist. Oh. Here? Okay. You know, form is one thing. Hitting the ball is a whole nother thing. You know, in order for me to stand the way he wanted me to stand, I couldn't even see the ball anymore. And then he's gonna laugh at me when I can't even make contact. You gotta be able to hit the ball. It's really tough. Whoops. I almost killed that guy over there. Nice. That was a good one, huh? All right. Yuck. Yeah. Oh, it almost hit the house over there. You hit one. Let me watch you. There. That's it. I thought that if I could just look at him hit a ball, I might be able to, you know, catch the rhythm, the routine, the style that he had, and I could mimic that. And I really just wanted to go, oh yeah? Would you prove it? Nobody can hit a ball like that. what an insult, because he just puts the ball down there and without even winding up, he just kind of whacks it.
Let me see.
That ball took off there like it was on fire, I'm telling you. It shot toward the fence. It's so completely unfair. So there's not so much room to play golf.
Yeah.
I'm just so surprised that people even play golf here. I would think they would play something that took up less space.
Yeah, nearly 2,000 golf courses throughout Japan. So that means, I don't know, 12 million or 15 million golf population.
People come, hit golf balls
Midnight.
at 2 in the morning?
Yes, yes. Even some young girls with high heels, you know. So we have to rent out the shoes.
Girls in high heels come to play golf.
That's right.
There's a finesse to the game, and if you can hit the ball well, that feels good. You know, I think if you just relax, right? Relax. Okay, yeah, that's the game. That's the game. There's an entire electronics neighborhood in Tokyo called Akihabara. As soon as you hit the neighborhood, you can tell you're in an electronics area because the streets are just lined with lights and bright colors and things right out on the sidewalk. Phones, faxes, computers, anything with wires and batteries in it. It's right out there for you to kind of walk by and grab. I went into this one store called Laux and was completely blown away. You can find anything electronic, electrical, all at a discount. You are filled to the brim with cutting-edge technology. This is stuff I've never seen anywhere else. Look how tiny this phone is. Look at that. That looks like it's made for a child.
Right, but it's very popular. People using it instead of a beeper, the pager.
You know what? The people in Tokyo are also just masters at multitasking. They've learned to make something do 15 things.
Okay, this is personal communicator we call Pinocchio. You can put the schedule memo or handwriting schedule memo or telephone number. You can send a fax to anywhere. This is also fax machine.
This? All right, so I scribble a little note in there, and then I can fax it to anyone by hooking it up?
Because this is also phone.
Wait a minute. This is a phone, too?
Right,
Okay, I got a personal diary.
Right,
I have some way to keep notes. Organizer.
And
I got a phone. I just like talking to it like this.
Sure.
And then
fax machine.
I can fax stuff. All in this little thing.
Yes, it's.
What else does it do? Make coffee? I mean...
No, not that yet. Might be next year.
That's a TV? What do I plug this into?
This any video output, like a video recorder or a Laserdisc or DVD or TV, any video output.
But you can't let your friends see you watching TV like this, because, come on, they'll all make fun of you.
Let me show you a camcorder that we call digital passport side camcorder. This is it.
That's
See how small?
Wait a minute, this is a recorder? This looks like a... This looks like a toy. 60 minutes of tape on this little thing? And now I'm ready to go.
Right.
And then I've got my own little monitor there. It's even got a zoom. It's amazing to see all the products, you know? I wanted every one of them. That's the sad part. I feel like all of my stuff is really cheap and outdated now. Is there something in here that really blows your mind?
Okay, what about stereo system? Maybe mini small disc?
Yeah?
Mini disc Walkman?
Take me there.
Okay, let's go.
A cassette can't fit in there?
It's not a cassette, we call mini disc Walkman. We're gonna use a mini disc instead of a cassette tape.
This is one of the new mini discs. Now, can I record onto this, or do I have to buy it?
No, you can record.
But I have to have a mini disc recorder.
Right. We do have those too.
And this is a laser disc. This is actually that same CD quality.
Yes,
in a tiny disc. Now, from what I hear, the prices are still better if you go to Hong Kong or Singapore. It's the selection here in Akihabara. You can find all this cutting-edge electronics that you can't find anywhere else in the world. Even TVs in a can. And phones, to video cameras, to TVs, to disc players, to VCRs, to TVs, to cameras, to cassette players, to stereos, to massage chairs, to phones, to fax machines, to more phones. It's all here in Akihabara.
Fuji Television is Channel 8 in Tokyo. A married woman is having an affair with a music teacher while living at her mother-in-law's house. You know?
For anyone planning on visiting Japan, they have a wonderful setup at the Japanese National Tourist Office. You can call, write, fax, just stop by if you have to, and you can get information on where to go, where to sleep, where to eat, what to see when you're there, and even what to avoid. It really kind of makes it simple if you're planning on taking a trip that far, especially in a language and a culture that you might not be familiar with. It sort of eases that transition from another culture into Japanese.
Overseas visitors will get more or deeper understanding in Japan, and maybe Japanese people and overseas visitors can understand each other better.
The building that the Japanese National Tourist Office is housed in is a monument. An architect came over from New York, and they actually spent $1.5 billion to create this work of art. It's the place to be in the middle of Tokyo.
Japanese television is pretty unique. And Fuji Television is Channel 8 in Tokyo, is one of the bigger networks. They just moved into a new building a few weeks before we got to Tokyo. And it in itself is this high-tech sculpture of a building.
So you have a nice view of the Rainbow Bridge.
Yes.
And then you can look up at the sphere. It's kind of futuristic.
But it's also a pretty remarkable TV station. They employ 1,500 employees and bring another 2,500 in from the outside. So at any given time, there's 4,000 people working in this building.
We have 10 studios, and we're filming our own programs inside and doing the post-production to broadcasting, everything inside.
And we actually got to see a couple shows in the making. First of all, we went into the newsroom. How many people are working here in this newsroom?
I think nearly 400 or so.
400?
Yes.
How many cameras and cameramen do you have working in here?
Here, just on this floor, we have 8 cameras. For making news outside, we have how many? 40 or 50 camera crews.
They even have a camera that moves on a track above the newsroom that can take tracking shots of the newsroom, but is also on this 10-second delay timer. So if there's an earthquake in Tokyo, it's always running.
When the earthquake really happened, you know, everything, these lights start shaking and everything, and you can record it. It does that automatically.
We also got to go backstage to the taping of a soap opera called Mrs. Cinderella. The storyline of Mrs. Cinderella is pretty racy, you know? A married woman is having an affair with a music teacher while living at her mother-in-law's house, you know? How many soap operas are on Fuji Television?
今ドラマは富士は5枠あるんですよね、ゴールデンタイムにね。There are five hours in the golden time slot.
The golden time slot?
Yes.
What's that?
And that we call a golden time slot from 7 in the evening to 10 in the evening.
Oh, okay.
Those 3 hours.
Are soap operas very popular in Japan?
Yes, very popular.
You can see a lot of different kinds of shows on Japanese TV. Soap operas, the news, sports, and variety shows. And at Fuji TV, they have a music show called Music Fair, where big stars from all over the world actually will come and do the performance on a big, spacey, high-tech, well-lit soundstage. And Fuji TV is so high-tech that all of their inner workings right now are digital. In another 5 years, they expect their broadcasting to be digital. They're just waiting for all their affiliate stations to catch up with their technology. That's a pretty extraordinary thing. You know, sometime after the break of the year 2000, a completely digital TV station.
You guys, I'm gonna have to borrow some money from you guys on the way home.
For what?
I spent all my money shopping. I know, I went nuts. I lost it, I was out of control.
Barbara, how could that happen?
I just love the Japanese sense of style, and I thought I better get some of the stuff here because when I get home, I'm just not going to find it.
Wait, you're not completely busted, are you?
I'm broke.
No, come on.
Broke.
No, I was counting on you guys. I need some money myself. I saw something in Akihabara. I gotta have it.
What?
This little mini disc player.
Patrick, what do you need a mini disc player for?
So I can play mini discs, Pierce.
You've got a regular-sized disc player.
Oh, but this one's this big and it's orange and no one else has one.
So what?
So, state-of-the-art technology, first kid on the block with one.
Listen to you two. I can't believe how frivolous you're being. Going on about stereos and fashion. Do you realize how old this culture is? Aren't there more important things to talk about?
Like what?
Like the fact that there's more people per square foot here than in any other city you've ever been to.
It's quiet here, Pierce.
Yeah, well, this is an exception. And it's incredibly clean and incredibly safe. People aren't at each other's throats here. Everything seems to run smoothly. What keeps people from jumping at each other's throats? It's not that way back home. Back home, you gotta have a big personality. I have to be obnoxious to keep people out of my face. But here, there's no friction. Why? Age-old respect. Think about it.
Does this mean you're not giving me the money, Pierce?
No, Patrick, I respect you too much to
All
give
right,
you the
you
money.
two. That's all the time we have for now. We'll see you next time on Travelers.
Right, goodbye.
Bye.
Respect me with some cash, Pierce. Look.
Patrick, put it to sleep.
Coming up, they're the fastest fighters around. High-speed planes and war-stopping jets come alive on wings. Then it's the ultimate do-it-yourself show. Learn the tricks of the trade. Professional home repair made easy on Gimme Shelter. Coming up.